Right,
opportunity
so
again to be honest with me and let me know what was
okay,
going on.
tape. So I want ID equals.
His body language just completely changed. It was like somebody let all the air out of him. He was defeated. And it was at that moment that he knew that it was up. It was over for him. Christopher admitted to being a
So
part
the
of the
third.
murder. What he said, he was hired by Brenda to steal Kendra's purse, and that Kendra was part of this plan to steal drugs from the cartel.
It was just like, go take these for the cartel, and I'm like, all I did was just snatch the lady purse, and she started biting me.
I think Brenda would pick someone like Christopher Love because she could see what he was interested in. She was going to be able to provide for him a cartel hookup for the distribution of drugs, which we don't now believe that Brenda Delgado has any kind of cartel connection at all. But she saw in Christopher Love a desire to build a drug distribution network. And through that, she was able to manipulate that and play out those to get him to do what she wanted him to do.
With two suspects now pointing the finger at Brenda Delgado, the next priority was to get her back from Mexico, and for that, Eric needed to work with the FBI.
One of the tactics that they used was putting Brenda on the most wanted list. Gave the case a lot more exposure, and it also offered a large cash reward, which helped with getting the word out, one, that she was wanted, and two, that we were willing to come pick her up in Mexico.
On the 8th of April 2016, Brenda was arrested and sent to jail in Mexico before being extradited back to the United States on the 6th of October.
When I saw Brenda in handcuffs, one of the things that I always used to tell myself whenever I was chasing after her was that you can run, but you can't hide. And so it was a great feeling to actually be able to pick the phone up and call Kendra's family and let them know that we got the person responsible for your loved one being murdered. Before Brenda's trial and before any of the court proceedings, Crystal
Ah,
had claimed
witness.
about her involvement. That she wasn't there to just
Distinct
steal a
division
purse.
and
She wasn't
ID
there to
of the
steal
business.
IDs.
Okay.
She was there to kill Kendra Hatcher.
So
And she had an active role
ID
in the
personal
murder.
account for personal
It
account.
wasn't just a murder
So
case. That this was an
ID
actual
business
murder for
account,
hire. And
and then
Crystal
here
knew
we
she
need the
was
full attribute.
On the 18th
So
of October 2018, Crystal Cortez was found guilty
four
without trial.
equals.
The deal was that for the truthful testimony, so she would have to testify not only in Christopher Love's trial, but also in Brenda Delgado's trial. Christopher Cortez's sentence was 35 years. We agreed to that before the trials happened. We tried Christopher Love first because he was the shooter in this heinous offense.
I think once the jury found out that the murder weapon was found in his car, I think at that point they were probably done with him.
On the 31st of October 2018, Christopher Love was found guilty of capital murder and sentenced to death by lethal injection.
This was just a tragedy all the way around, not only in the sense that the 35-year-old dentist is dead, but Christopher Love is on death row now for just a complete waste of a crime. And so, talking to family members, they felt like it was completely tragic in the sense that this was a boy who got so desperate that he was willing to be the trigger man in a murder for hire case for just a couple $100.
Brenda Delgado's trial began on the 3rd of June 2019.
Brenda Delgado did have an alibi. She wasn't anywhere near the offense location at the time. Really, the motivation in this case is what really was able to get us to the point in time that Brenda Delgado was involved. The only connection that Christopher Cortez, Christopher Love had with Dr. Hatcher was through Dr. Peniagua and Brenda Delgado.
One of the members of the jury was Casey Miller.
So the autopsy photos were really painful to watch. I understand that they're part of the process. They need to be entered into evidence. We, as the jury, had to look at them. It was also horrible for me to realize that the family of Kendra sitting in the audience at the trial saw these too.
It was now for the jury to decide if Brenda was guilty of murder or not.